University of Waterloo eho ana mewo na glaucoma na ni din for Friday man na thief of sight and ye beka say yare a ewia ye ni thief of sight say ye fa ye ni edua na tresem no crowd eka ema ye hunu say eni ehu hia yi nti ye kan look at humanity do ba ko nchemu e dia sanan a ka kire say ye ni eni ye kanea say ye ni healthier your whole body and so full of light but say ye ni enye healthier na say sum edru ni pedua no enti Kristo na ankasa ema ye hunu e wo science ma o kan ye mu say eni no ade a ehu ehia yi pa enti me no mi no etwase e boy eni ho ban enti nyame abo eni ne sronko kra se ye hwe enyom ngoma no ohadiasan enkron chichemu edunaya o say oh I will praise you because I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. And see, the eye is a very wonderful organ because it has been wonderfully created. So here see any is ya draw that screen is here. And in your pie emu enti se na be ye be hunu emu no nanso ayese kusia enti ye sha see free yen eniwa no eso a cornea no eso a ufri cornea no mu ana wokọ so krone da waninim no people even before that no nyame abo lid a no ne boy ma etimi da enti woda na lid na kata eso ana nyame aye ni such a way say lid nso ebrebi o ha eno a ekoba na edinso kakra fa wani ne so na ama wani no aye lubricated na we feel so comfortable enti obi a obeheda abie nani ahan nani so omonani no won se bedru baby na nani so hyehye no say enyame am aye blinking mechanism ne say o ha na wabo e reflex ehun hia so obe force mpa abo eno a bebo na edinso kakra fa wani ne so na hohoro so na lubricating no we feel comfortable enti a very very wonderfully created so we see enyame see ye ni a afi wura enini ma beyond the cornea nti cornea ne tuntum ne so no ahwehwe bi kata so very transparent nti say why nya unhunu but ayesa transparent ahwehwe me mfa ne sa nti beyond that transparent ahwehwe ne so bi gina wani no echi wura mu a black na ye hunu ye friend no iris in between the iris no and atokru that ho ye friend people na even before we drew inside no white na ye hunu ye friend conjunctiva sa conjunctiva ye hunu say blood vessels enenam so a supply any no blood vessels ne supply any no enkrabata horo bebre but say ye hwe cornea na enam say enum na kanea efewra ye ninim nti ehon kwan the blood vessel be any ho the moment I have a blood vessel eba cornea and so that is a problem you say eba cornea nechi enso ye frɛ bi anterior chamber and ye be di ho nkomo pa ye fi say glaucoma nkomo ne fa sa bia ye ho ana ufri ho a na wo call lens ye frɛ no crystalline lens eno na boa ma timi focus na de ben wa na ahonho no ana say aye pompon fe eno wo hu na de kroni ade ewa akira na emu atwe na aboa mu atimi afocus at the crowd so hu na akoto wani na chi bia ye friend retina no enti beyond the lens nso bi agina wani na chi ho eno de jelly like nyamasa ye friend vitreous eno eboa maintaining the shape of the eye ana retina eno so wani na chi ayese photographic film ultra camera ekoto film so ansa na watimi akohoro nti ye ni ne film no ene retina no sa retina ne nso se picture be kwa akoto ho no eno na entini aye friend optic nerves no ebetwe edi akọ adwen mu na afi adwen no I interpret am wo hu na de nti eni no very wonderfully created se ne medical aka no beside all this no nyame abo special tokro bi ama no say yenti honkra no mu ntokro ededam no mienu ana ekuta eni ye fe na orbit ana eye sockets inti so hwe a eni no very delicate inti bones etwa ho ahia se na ebe ya se impo bibi ebebo wani ana utiti kobo bibi so a bones no ebeje impact no na enkoka wani inti nyame enim de inti a oye eni ni sa afri se opese eni ni nya ahobambo sonko ebi na glaucoma ye ka ho asemi broni beka se optic neuropathy ye ka optic neuropathy na ye se problem bi aba neurons mu na neurons a eboa me ehuna de no se na medical aka no optic nerves sa optic nerves no efa information from the retina na afi wa transmit the call brain ni mu na brain na interpret amwo ehunu ade na sa optic nerve no eho na problem no eba na se glaucoma no affect na afi erere intini na eboa transfer information from the retina to the brain no na se yare ne baso sa emma optic nerve no enya structural damage say no ewo kwan bi so na sa osaye no it creates a specific visual field defect mecheche sa enoma no enyina mu na visual field defect na ye wade hunu no sia wosi hunu ade no ye fa enkrabata ye wo central visual field and ye wo peripheral visual field inti wade hunu no ententen so nyina inti se mehwe screen ni so yi menima mehwe no me central vision ba se me focus meni ni wa ha ewo screen ni so nenso enoma ewo minche mu nche ni nyina me hunu eno my whole perspective of my vision me visual field no inti at a point no say glaucoma yare eba wani so na start erere intini na eboa transmit information from retina to the brain na constrict visual field no inti wonya obi a wani eda ho so pa na wota for regular checkup a wanhwe a wani ema ho so nenso na yare no erere na usually it is sometimes associated with increased intraocular pressure. Sometimes yare eba wani so a ema wani pressure ewo wani kosua nim no ekosro enti eno ye kwan bi a ye fa so itimi detect say we are at risk of glaucoma na wonya at risk anafi say retinal ganglion cells and their axons and non forming the optic nerves amadikan aka eho asem no enti so far the pathophysiology of glaucoma. Usually it is associated with increased intraocular pressure. Now intraocular pressure no NCA pressure ijina ya nikusianim. This pressure no as a result of two main fluids. The medical can have some aqueous fluid and vitreous fluid. Vitreous no the turnover very slow. Inti produce and discharge. Usually vitreous no but aqueous ne it is frequently produced and frequently drained. Inti aqueous ne pa na high pressure no ejina so. Inti ufa baby a arrow no edana eho ana aqueous fluid no ejina. Inti ufa yeni cornea no eno any transparent glass ne kata tuntum ne so no. Beyond the cornea no echi no inso bi jina ho ne friend aqueous fluid no. Na ciliary process process bi a ewo iris ne so sa enkrabata mienu ye wa hai sa tuntum no eno na produce aqueous no ana tuntum na se baby a arrow ne da no eho na aqueous no edreni inti if the amount of production eno exceed amount of drainage eno na ma fluid buildup no ekostro na afi ama pressure ejina so inti akwaya te say ye maame nom esone abe eho me na me pa abe nkwan pa ye inti me maame na me boa no ma ne abe enkwan na me woman no na
But
also ne so ti
you need to map
or the sieve no sonny abene so a ohwie abeno egu sieve ni ma or expect say sieve no be capture nuts no na afi nso no ewrem se na be ya nuts ni bi enkogu enkwan no mu enti the rate a ohwie nso no expect say nso no ebe fa sieve ni akogu ade a obeye enkwan no ewo mu no saa na we ni nso tie enti say production ne ba it is expected say ntokrontokro na deda maybe a arrow ni da no ebe allow for the drainage of the ciliary the aqueous fluid no but say sieve no mu choked and I say bibi ekoshishe mu se na ebe ya nso ni ntimi endrain a ohwie a ntimi emfa sieve no mu enkogu ade na ode ye enkwan ni mu enti bo say production no ebe koso ba drainage nkoso de a na say when ni pressure na ebe koso enti bo say afina enkwan no ade na opese enkwan no FM no intimi mfam na etu efa eso sa na yeni production of the aqueous fluid any drainage no sa na esi etie enti either the drain becomes blocked here enti drain no blocked that afina the pressure akoto optic nerve na ebe transmitting information from the retina to the brain for interpretation no eso Inti ebasa my blood supply to the optic nerve short change. Ebasa na fe cause damage to the optic nerve. Inti ubon say optic nerve is say fine looking no. Ti say the was hey na afe tokru ebedem because the pressure of the aqueous fluid no push the content of the eye no backwards. Emma optic nerve no no. Inti eno ana yehu say it becomes caved in ewo etri ha. Okay. Inti sene medican akano. The eye is the window to the body. And essentially an extension of the brain. Therefore, we see with our brains through our eyes. Inti sene medican achimono ye nino connected to the brain through the optic nerves. Inti ubetimi akase enino a window to the body, but we see with the brain because enino emma kania femuna ekwo retina nesoa. Now optic nerve no are transmitted the visual cortex, which is the brain no. Now brain na interpret ya me who say adia ye huni say ana say. Inti say when you know eguso crying allow light ekum. Na say optic nerve na say ya connection here a bridge at this point no. Even though when you go so light rem, then so because say optic nerve no intimate and connected to the brain, and my brain interpreting into that's how glaucoma affects our vision. Into banisa, it's cuts off the connection between the eye and the brain. At this point, no, ubon say wadi hunu na esoti na afi edum kra. Inti sene medican can the optic nerve damage will lead to glaucomatous damage, and which will eventually lead to blindness. So facts about glaucoma. It's a leading cause of irreversible blindness in Ghana and worldwide. The main reason why glaucoma a problem Ghana and among blacks because we as blacks we don't really take our regular medical checkup seriously, especially back home. Say bibi even most people will resort to going to the pharmacy and I say drugstore. No akoto cophenicals then day. And no akoto a drobi de guso. Or the guso about 2-3 days nasta who be and sana or the aba clinic. And even say bibi aye no mpona nka or rash econo or no abe resorted to first line treatment and I say self-medication before or eye clinic. And we don't take our regular checkup very seriously. That's one reason. And another fact is the second leading cause of blindness, which is next to cataract. And if a cataract a adult condition. Now there are lens changes in the eye, which may eventually result to decreased vision. In the Ebanisa, this year be a ten free when in so now boama wohuna dear. Cataract blindness, it has remedy and a reversible, but glaucoma irreversible, which makes it more dangerous. And it affects all age group, including infants and children, but common among adults, 40 and beyond. Into glaucoma, or no respect of person, even though prevalence among adult population was short there, but it affects everyone. So it is known as a silent thief of sight because the disease are unaware. Say the medi can say eba when you saw wadi hono a free peripheral vision into one here when you mount so. And the type so a year before it is very silent. And yeah, into when you'll be outside a versatile eye clinic and as call or specialist for management, no who say you are at risk and as a pressure postura, one here when you Emma also. And I'll say someone suspected to have glaucoma can undergo any of the three commonly used diagnoses. And your test to be once we identify you to be part of the risk group, your test to be being optic nerve assessment, intraocular pressure assessment, visual field test assessment, and all those other tests I make some later. So types of glaucoma, your juvenile onset glaucoma, secondary glaucoma, congenital glaucoma, primary open angle glaucoma, acute closed angle, and other types of some. Congenital one type free away mu. Inti sometimes wabofra na sa problem no kra wo dada. Secondary type no enso type ebi ayare bi eka weni uveitis bi anase infection bi weni when treat ni ye ana through that infection emma glaucoma enso by juvenile type near glaucoma nkwara ana primary open angle glaucoma glaucoma before pa. That's the chronic type silence and about when so I won't tell you be acute close angle the end of the usually emergency situations when you were experiencing trauma ama pressure not across all at once into a there are medical remedies to me and we have some other types I become one and so into acute close angle glaucoma and it's not very common among blacks because usually once before you ensure that pay once be white na eba is also and I'm say na emergency ninti usually na it doesn't lead to blindness unless nipa no medical attention term. And it's usually an emergency causing redness of the eye, abdominal pain, misty vision, going from light to dark, and it decreases anterior chamber, iris lens contacts. Now when eye very hard, but any medical cannot we a traumatic type of glaucoma into a bar. Now you rush out to Edoko clinic and as an emergency, they are able to do surgical operations to correct it immediately. And the rate of blindness from this type of glaucoma of them. In Tiabanisa, we have a procedure called YAG laser, which they can use to do iridotomy. The baby pressure na bijinano. You try to crew eto iris no eho baby esro ana say baby na a drainy fluid no aboa ama fluid no a drainy. Until there is always remedy for this kind of glaucoma, even though a bema adi hu no aye wisi akra, but once you are rushed to the emergency no, they will be able to sort you out. But this type, which is a chronic primary open angle glaucoma, and no a year before no, it is painless, commonly found among elderly people. You don't notice anything wrong unless it's detected by an eye professional. And how does an eye professional detect it except you go through screening? And say obi ohwe ni e de afidie ehwe wani nachi na se wo ye at risk a obetimi e detect ehun say you may be at risk. Na afi ya sha say a monitor na management and I say edru na bibi o ha ye de wo atoso. The only way to be able to protect yourself from this type of glaucoma through regular screening, and I say work check out somehow or doctor be a fear no be a yahwe when you know amount. Inti o doctor no hwe when in a say no huno. If you be a friend of thermoscope, every when you here and a fundoscopy, say ni huno. At this point, you who say there are blood vessels. The blood vessels, baby, omunina a carbon no. That meeting point, and a optic nerve head. Usually, nerves are not visible because a quite transparent into one here. But baby, blood vessels nina abebo chinku mfimfin ha no. Ehon na optic nerve head no ewo. Nti optic nerve na ehon na ABP free wani mu na afi akọ wadwene mu. Nti usually no ya na blood vessels need to be born kaye emeye hu say you are at risk and I say you are not at risk using something that we call cap to this ratio. Nti say wo eye specialist no hwe wani achi na we at risk through this means no bitimi detect amount. Nti there is a clinical sign to detect glaucoma whether a person is at risk or not. Nti depending on how much caved in the optic nerve head is, say ohwe wani nachi na say a slightly caved in and I say moderately caved in and I say a totally caved in obe alert so am wo hunu the say we and I say obe order for tests ama wetimi detect say oh you at risk of glaucoma and I say when you're at risk. In saying this, we have something that we call physiological excavation, physiological carping. Obi wo ha saa na yede wo no nti wo hwe nani na chi obehu say ase ehwe atwa tokro nenso na enye say glaucoma ebia awoyemu saa na maame na opapa de ete nti neni nyina eneye glaucoma nti so physician no suspect bia this is just the first line obemu aye further test obe check pressure in the eye, intraocular pressure. After obetimi amo akoye visual field testing, obetimi amo akoye retinal nerve fiber layer assessment, obetimi amo akoye optical coherence tomography OCT. And no ye more indicative tester. Obetimi adana dia me hu say o nerve fiber layer no problem bem, and I say you are losing vision from your peripheral vision through the use of the visual field test. Into who is at risk? As people of African descent, we are all at risk. The first say yeah, blacks and we are at risk. So we will be when you glaucoma pain, it makes you eligible so between any. And I say obi wo even though we say glaucoma no nya but who say nani if right without any cause, any probable cause, be a baby money so unyini drew baby no nani fry. Unless if ye ete de ba wani ni so abon se fita bia beda tuntum ne so ende obi hu se yete But say nenino egusu kama, bibia e kama na still a fra, it could be glaucoma. Ebasa, you need to check. It means a cipher ebusiemu. It has hereditary influencer. And that's a family history. Obi all family history of glaucoma no knows with me. Obi or that steroids so you'll be out using steroids you are at risk. Trauma attack when in that and also a bit me glaucoma baso. Myopia, these are less risk. Old age, hypertensive, diabetics, almost in at risk of getting glaucoma. So to be on the safer side, as I've already mentioned, no, if we're able to detect it early enough, and it may management is successful. It behoves on us say it be 2 and among, maybe once in a year, twice in a year, visit your eye clinic, visit your ophthalmologist, your optometrist. Now, when you know amount, no problem be anywhere. You are free to go. I see who say be we are at risk. We will start management as soon as possible. So there is no cure. Inyanya say a draw we tuna sekra, but you will nura this no it may manage a prolonged vision no as far as you can live. And I think I've already made mention of routine eye check. If we look at how the glaucomatous damage progresses, here first image here. So we have a healthy optic nerve head and a glaucomatous optic nerve head. Into you who say glaucomatous there no to crew fita bit that when in a that's glaucomatous damage. Into a banisana a re intinino I friend optic nerve na a send information to your brain for interpretation. Into at a point when the damage becomes serious, I feel won't say wadi hunu no na peripheral vision essay into peripheral vision no and the body can into healthy eye edie ewo picture yasia you who say edia kama ewo you who know the atmosphere you who know the entire surrounding of the tree, but for the other side now where we have glaucomatous damage and you who say most parts of the tree is visible because it's in the central vision, but the peripheral vision now the atmosphere the area surrounding the tree no blocked. That's how glaucomatous damage occur. Into bones wadin wohwe wanim dia wohunu wanim kama but no vision no I said the wohwe to kromu na I said tunnel vision.
You say na
Ana afa yehwe enkwara mienu nso a omo ekuta balls ya obi a woni problem bia no ehunu omo enyina with their entire surrounding enyina but obi o glaucoma no ohunu omo enim kitwe bi but the entire surroundings becomes dark. That's how glaucoma presents. Inti so man need draw this extent there na say at that point no the vision is almost gone. The point I will be your tunnel vision. Say no. Let's say your vision is almost gone. Into a man in drew this point and sana was that say up annual drew. Because he drew this pointer with time no ebe funny in na fe wading no I totally dark. Into how do we treat chronic open angle glaucoma? First of all, we want to manage it by stabilizing the visual field loss. Into a point glaucoma no ever so say your peripheral vision, you say you're managing your progression no very minimal. 2, you say you reduce the risk of further progression. To baby edruno, you make us say the one de code ending corner the can de say a bon by. And now we want to maintain central visual field. That's a tunnel vision when you say you're maintaining or send a ebi ensay enka ho. If you say the Eddie can say anything, there's no way of getting it back because as of now, no, inyanya edrubia etimi ede recover optic nerves and as nerves. Inti say intiniwu yare bi e intinimu yare it is a stroke. Ede energy ahoro ni nyina no. Enam say intinimu yare ni nti say enya account na say intini eye dead. There is no way of getting them back again. Inti edrubia nyi ho a itimi de recover and I say yede restore nerves. Research eguso ekoso there are some research itimi ebuama emwa bi itimi regenerate hormones but intimi emfa ema enipa mu eye tinti still nice and it's a gray area people are still researching on. Inti the main aim of the treatment of glaucoma no to make sure say we balance the amount of fluid production and as if produced to the amount of fluid drained. Inti we want to make sure say yebe bread pressure and as because glaucoma is always associated with increase in intraocular pressure. Into most of the eye drops target and say production no air cost na drainage into me enkwa a reduce production. And third answer it reduce both production na increase drainage no. If we also increase drainage and production and drainage no ebe boama when a pressure no be stabilized. And I think so at a certain point in time no your physician may recommend surgery. Surgery ni say the pressure no cost so na eye drop no into me emma pressure no mba this the second eka wani no yede ka wani na ye bie biaya eboa ema drainage no ebe contem na afi nsu no asene na ama pressure no abafem. In the glaucoma medications there are different types of glaucoma medications. We have beta blockers, alpha agonists, cholinergic agonists, carbonic anhydrase inhibitors, and then prostaglandin analogs. You have beta blockers now. The main aim of the beta blockers say reduce the production of aqueous fluid in the eye. Into while the production air cost not drainage into main cost. So would the draw we go and so limited the amount of aqueous being produced. Now I reduce the pressure. And alpha agonist so it reduce aqueous hemosecretion and also a two-way into while it's decreasing the production now increase uvuoscleral outflow in soon be fason a PF when a boa emma and also a quantum. Sometimes in only be your physician may want to combine them depending on the way they act. And if a cholinergic agonist and so on increase the drainage of intraocular fluid through the trabecular meshwork. And if I send row so and row they are tablets. They block enzymes via a carbonic anhydrase. Into a blockage enzyme now I reduce the amount of aqueous production. Now and also I reduce aqueous and as intraocular pressure in the eye. And these ones, prostaglandin analogs, these are new versions of glaucoma medications and they are very expensive. The main aim is that they increase outflow of the aqueous fluid. So reduce the pressure drastically. And either of these medications could be combined in a way a efficiency in terms of controlling the pressure of the eye. These are some surgical procedures to overcome and to remedy close angle glaucoma. This procedure is called trabeculectomy. Inti ahano pressure na ekosoro yede adrogu so ayenko. This said that the second can when no ye create channel bi a insuo no eta wani no ebefa ebenya kwan apie se na be ya enkoswa emma pressure nenkoso. Inti sometimes even after surgery, no, yebesa ma wadura obesa de aguso a and also be a bit limited the amount of aqueous production. Inti the fact say your surgery doesn't mean some third room so depending on how the surgery took place or the surgical procedure was carried out, no, your physician may want to put you on a medication just to be able to limit the amount of aqueous production, because the aqueous needs to be produced. Why? Because it provides a source of nourishment for the cornea, for the iris, the back of the cornea, the iris, and other ciliary structures. Enti you need the here, aqueous need the here, but say a baby tie ho na intimi nko and a problem no. Enti surgery no ebe boase tie ho, but the production on so be a more dry be so be limited the amount of aqueous produced. And it means so the tube to aid the outflow, and also sclerostomy, and also reduce pressure no, for a longer term. And it all depends on what your physician will recommend. Or no be home komo surgery it's not 100% so yeah wadi hunu beba. Senior nim say surgery so you have to sign an undertaking say maybe our success rate at say be a 50-60%. And yet a year chinchina or we are be huna de now don't sasha say until we know huna de point me fa so bobia emebono. That's how the surgeries are carried out. And today is also another form of surgery. So other types of glaucoma, these are very scary pictures. This is called ophthalmos, where glaucoma a year emofra. At this point, you say Nenino is almost gone. At this point, in so Akrano or experiencing very severe pains in the eye. Ebani say this is a congenital form of glaucoma. Ebani say this is nadi honi de eko huna debut. Even after surgery, we be in home bet my yama adihuno aba because the eye is almost gone. But it comes with a lot of pain because pressure ijna and in Ebanisa, he may have to do surgery either to remove the entire eyeball or to eviscerate content of the eye, no, maybe the prosthetic ashim. The young friend or crying in be ashimama bafrano. Senebea obenya na hoton. Tisana yekase yemani ngwa ya ana unhunu hwenso. Ana unhunu hwenso nti. What is the essence of allowing it to be there? This is free ho na a easy pain no. Na fe the prosthetic asho na a regulated emani unhuna debut but prosthetic me de sheho a senebea obi unhunu se ebi awani no eni ho. Nti it will keep the volume of the eye. Na afi bi awashe a year so spectacles and be eguso. Ana your neovascular type of glaucoma. This type also usually blood vessels grow on the point where aqueous is drained into blood vessels. New weak blood vessels grow at that point. You can just resort to laser surgery into the laser neovascular and as a new blood vessels no every horse and into this type is not as bad because it comes as a result of diabetes. And if you manage your diabetes well, you will not get to this point. But diabetes and so a very debilitating, a deteriorative. And he said, one managing diabetes name can cause blindness. There's a glaucoma and become on the analysis, and the assembly can say, Anna Eba. Inti medimano eba we medimekasa na eba you know. Our take home message is say glaucoma blindness is preventable. But the only way we can prevent glaucoma and it's you bit me identify say you're at risk and I say you're at risk. See who say you're at risk. Now you identify yourself very earlier. We have ways we can manage the condition. Manning drugs when ni befra. But so what na hwa na ye hu in term there na ama options no are very limited. It behoves on us ye regular medical checkups, eye checkups. Na fe ya me na ye ntintia eye clinic na ye hunu ekwan befa so na ya twe ho afri sa ade ho. And the commonest form of glaucoma, which is the silent one, the primary open angle glaucoma, is hereditary and usually manifests after the age of 40. And it's one fear no edru 40 and above. Na obi wo obusiema onya glaucoma and obi wo obusiema na ni fry without any probable cause. You may be at risk. Ma onanye ntinti our eye clinic na yenhwe weni no emma. You can prevent glaucoma blindness through regular eye checkups at least once in a year. Inti send a medical I reiterate and please say ye pese ya di hono glaucoma emetu yempofremu dia. The only way is say ebe me na inti ewo eye clinic once in a year there. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. Oko na ye ko check him out na ye hu say wonya at risk who son say abrobe. And afi the last one, if identified early, glaucoma can be managed with medication or with surgery. Inti say you in term na you say we at risk of glaucoma. Glaucoma nya dia bit me any fraba at that point. But say you in term there bit me the any fraba. You in term ne you say we at risk in rural height it me this no surgery so high it me this no. I say yes, I'm sure say we will not get to that point where we will regret later. Into medimano is on to no it was Psalm 119 verse 8 and say, open my eyes that I may behold the wondrous things of your law. And nyame ebie ni say ni ebe ya ebe hunu awawade anase na awawade a ewo nimremu nti eni anyame de amaye no we should not joke with it. You hu say a privilege and anyame de amaye nti ye mo ye ni ho ban eye na dwumadi a odi ahye ensa no enam ye ni a ye bo ho ban ye ni betimi aye na fe opia wanya akatua pebi de amaye medamase say why so ema me na fe motie ensem minim se ye de bobra ebesie nyina ye na da ankwa ama na nyame ipia wabefa ye nyina akọ osoro ahenni no. Thank you very much for your attention.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
Amen. You want show
Doctor nyame nhyira papa yeda wase ejide for me pabocha doctor no asi se ye won se bisa ne moa bi a ye betumi e de aba doctor bacha me de ka bisa se bacha friend my ntumi me ka se free Ohio Cincinnati me pacha se na wu treat glaucoma bacha betumi e bisa cataract ho asem
We betimi ebisa
bacha yo me pacha se wo koye cataract surgery na omo first treatment na wo ka say be ma adobia gugu so na omo de ma na say so ana say fees no so eso a eni kwa say ode adobia gusu biem.
okay nti we can ye cataract surgery no and ye mo adro sefa gugu so
Bacha
nti how ebrebe no mka asesa abra bibio
me ko bacha bra mo share be no so ya me ko fa na ye no e na o ka say ma me fa hwe gu so biem.
Okay.
Until 1 year and son makohu me primary doctor. Primary doctor.
Yeah. Nti cataract no de ya na enti se glaucoma na make us a pressure no. Cataract no de ye cataract surgery ni we ya na between time I no to about 3 months no ana yesese monitor na ehunu se infection bi ansem pie mu bio enti se ohwe na ohun se kro na wu kama na infection bi a ma a trading a there's no need so beside a draw for be a good so until say it be a problem for sabaso enti cataract no a bit different from glaucoma no glaucoma they don't say pressure nti they say you manage pressure na confirm say enkosro na enkose we no but cataract nti say
Pacho me da se. I get from Pacho so be was a besane mo de papa.
Yo, my to me, Pacho, me was in Bisa.
Pacho boarding natural.
Yo, me friend me Christiana Economic free New York. Dr. Pacho me pisa me bisa asem mienu. E die be na de double vision eba. Ena de tosu mienu no so no. E die na de wo ho na wani epru na almost wanya eye dry. Pacho eno so de na de ba. Pacho mase bisa no.
okay well ni nyina ho hia ndo enye related to glaucoma de ba yenka ho asem kakra ebia some specific time you be a brain be can dry eyes and so on some double vision there a lot of conditions said the double vision but double vision now quite so because many should bring me the case any should be it could be say be crowd pressure or blood pressure cholesterol and am when you should now sugar level cholesterol na your coffee na am when you should be usually say when you double vision it's better so be rush I call emergency na ahwe ama na so be report to doctor obebusebusa onsem bebre ebeboa mo unravel the main cause of the double vision because so because many so bring me mean to me entna hanka at the prayer ama ni so ebre no and you know there is better so be call akoko specialist na obebusa further questions are trying to unravel problem no na fe mama solution tearing not there senior can say dry ice quite common here on say from high I use computers pa and the more now we use computer na gadgets you know because our person focus your attention na we maintain no attention into and my blinking rate so until with time no you develop the habit of not blinking into developing the habit of not blinking the eye sending nyame ye no and no be force amani so na ba send be ya ne ho beto no enti kwan bi obe so ama na ba bi obe ma na ba enti sometimes uti ya na enye se e ade bone but the mechanism of the eye to make sure say the surface of the cornea is not dry enti that transparent glass na e kata tuntum ne so no nyame aye ne say always na it should be lubricated a brand bia enti obo when you cry you don't notice when you are blinking nyame aye ne say a reflex time be say o blink unless it be a wada and so no crowd da so na tears no e ba na abefa so enti say where you be we deny o blinking for a long time the tears will come at some point na fe ni so no e ba say na be lubricate the surface of the cornea enti tearing in itself near at the bonnet but sometimes it may be uncomfortable sometimes it be about time I won't say ba into so you'll be able to use the computer and I say what's a dry eye condition now your artificial tears out me it good when you know so dry eyes and so it was different mechanisms it's me but sometimes with tears no crano is unable to stick on the cornea because certain components are missing into and so a brain be dry eyes but tearing in itself don't enye at the body a way I know a whole so now lubricated the surface of the cornea.
Amen. My into me name there say any amount yes so who ye there.
Just a while them sapper what they am in town.
Yo, India.
But what can I flash him?
But Bedase. I'm so
Me pa
panyin.
cho mo ya say.
Panyin o ten so ama ne nsa so.
Okay, ne mo ka mo me no kasa wi ane ya wi. Mo mra.
Victor, nyame ehira wo pa am say adusua a wo de amaye no. No kwasem pa ne se wetimi de me atare me mpaboa watch de ama obi na ani de. Ho asem ka no kwasem se yensre enti se ani ho asem wani ho ba asem a ade a ha adwene yie pa etoda ya na wo mu asebe o mani afira no se wo de won sa ba ko kata wani ba ko pe na ba ko pe kra ye adwuma utimi se nipadua ni nyina no na doc mi bisa bi se obi a wo hyeda mu pi ni obi onam awia so tem bia hwan na nani ewa ahoden na second ye wade bi ho a wo ya te se bi otwitwa je ne se ya etimi kɔ wani ema usu anase eye okay se bibi sa akoso a ade bi utimi ye na bia ma tem bia wani free nso sa more especially se wo twitwa je na bibi a etisa na my second question no send and what the can me bisa say ye may and then when we adwuma wo fie a te computer so 24/7 no what the can ho asem ntiem say honom no ne de ate honom na say na say any general no a wo ye no dog pese me hu say ye ma me no mo a wo mu de eyelash eyelash wo say de kakata wo mani no ebetimi am wo manya sa glaucoma no anase ne de ye just enye hwe wo betimi de atata wani wo de atetare wani no so with me 3 questions in me that say.
Okay. Well, into obi a shed them no be on number mu. So shed them it may depend on the oil or them. Maybe I shed them now use a computer for long hours. We know be on number mu say without protection. We know be on number mu. So no enye kese sa. Be on number mu at risk because when number mu and from anam when so area ko when you're exposed to UV radiations here and there. And you need to protect your eyes. And usually recommended sunglasses, UV protected sunglasses. And no can be na Emma me area bob be area simuha African city. Area bono Emma cataract prevalent for her because area no a lens of the eye na cataract no ebaso absorb UV radiations no dangerous part of the UVA UVB absorb na afi cause deformity to the proteins which make up the lens no na afi eventually lead to cataract and you are at risk. It's also something to protect your eye. Into your various forms of glasses, your sunglasses with UV protection, your photochromic anti-reflective glasses, your transition glasses, you now protect when you know absorb UV radiation, and even will be your driving night and near Hano, or also such glasses and also ebwa indoors, and so you may not be totally immune from problems American what I use it screen to say computer, TV, prolonged usage can also result in some of these conditions. And that's a bit me when you saw problems American assembly. And now say obi charge and I be say cost is it okay? Usually say when exposed to anything irritating that send a mechanism be a man I need na body who by inti obi didn't say be wo ani anya na wo kata wani na kata no matter what wo kata ani ne be kata inti nyame aye ni such a way say a reflex who should charge in a course so I won't say any so start say ba na ho irritating way no inti ense say wo de wo sheda de bibi share bi anase bibi a yeah, unless you have a special maybe affinity for it and the mean to mean can but it's not anything that you should be. But wouldn't mean some guys say you will not eat, you will not cook. But we can limit the exposure to some of these irritating chemicals. Computer vision. Then American can have some no. With me, I use it at DAB. There were shells, computer shells, they cut a screen any a limited amount of radiation said by any your glasses and so I'll share a bois. Use of mascara, any eyelid paintings, well, usually research BI almost a year, these things not me cause a year, it may cause some cancers, but I cannot really confirm here. And Nino, so the mascara. On say, Sano man, what a kind of Nikusiana, irritating to say the Gina and Nabi Biashu and in the so until a Nikusiana de you know, says Sano man and Pesano man, but for beautification, for sense of fashion and so now a binom use it. You only need to be careful, say Enkoka Kusiano, Nenkofa a how be Emma. But I know previously, I'm not so certain, but I think say I've read somewhere, no, I can't say it causes some level of cancers, but I don't know how true is it because it's been quite some time make a deal with, you know. My name is but me answer questions now.
That's a dog. That's it. My interest is the chairman and Sasso.
Yo, Timmy Kasa free Toronto. Yo, Kasa free Toronto. Now, doctor, may questions me woni. One my young who pitiasia pass a bibrimu, yentan ko check up unti. Emma glaucoma no a cost roka kana say a second leading, say Ghana. Na se niema wake Kenya se me busa pa say the first sign of glaucoma dear. A dear na would be ebe can once much say generally no niema de bano dawson say a wow sumu and say pejano first sign of say my first question. They told me no say bibi kawania mofutuo ben na wode my we say wo kan glaucoma specifically but say bibi kawania se obeposa te said ya na ye no ye ni aye we no na the person di twato ne reading glass and reading glasses aye we me ankasa me wo bi ya ye bia mame na eduru mre bia ya na me pese me read abra me mfa glasses no nche na me hunu na na my wife cancer osre me she na be me hunu yie e pasa wugiri se bia me di me hu dem ana se ebri bia ye di bia ma me de tem bia sese me she ne bra bia me das.
All right, Elder me that say any question what we say what's the first sign of glaucoma? Usually once my can normally be an abubum. You see glaucoma, optic neuropathy. It appears it causes structural damage to the optic nerve. At the end, we say sometimes it's associated with intraocular pressure and it causes visual field damage. At the end, we say it doesn't have any formats, any prescribed format via a fast say glaucoma, but it presents differently based on any chrono issue. Until say who say pressure no usually because a primary association primary association and say it measure intraocular pressure near who say was right and only the first sign who say you may be at risk because the idea any sometimes appearance is very deceptive and see sometimes or when you know who say you have to this ratio be at risk of glaucoma and no very deceptive but also no what take you pressure into who's pressure and so and I say or more suspicion say you could be at risk into make us say intraocular pressure. But there are some glaucoma types and so say what the by pressure of them. Any prescribed form of presenting say a chassis na pressure cholesterol na thickness no say any way of like any prescribed mode of calming, except say if you're able to identify it and notice it earlier, or physician will alert you, say you may be at risk into starting medication just to make sure say obe manage amount. And ubusan say is rubbing your eyes good? And I say when irritation be become when what is the best form of managing it? Rubbing there is never prescribed say it's all rubby when it the more now rubby no last time so uti we ni be make I say or rubby when you know vessels be tiny blood vessels my bit me a breaky it will result in redness. And you can also introduce foreign bacteria which may introduce inflammation into and so it's not advisable. Say irritation become ebia make us say ebia wo ye what the super glue did you maybe and as what the chemical be did you maybe not a bop it in when you preoccupy. The best thing to do is to wash it with copious amount of water. To the insu be hohroswa wouldn't sube hohroswa confirm say ubedru ubeko emergency na yahama. That's the best form of first aid albania. Say bibi a sheshe aka weni na bibi ebia acid na bibi abogu eni so. Wouldn't sube hohroswa copious amount of water na de hohroswa. Simple ade to weni na de nsu hohroswa sometimes ade na itimi enso ntimi flash at the corner out. Indeed, that's the best form of advice I'm making the amount say irritation be a kawenia. And the reading glasses are now come once. I think so you need to thank your wife. The advice near perfect. Say the glasses nemawa. It doesn't mean say we when your disability be say unhuna de. The mouse and be you read comfortably. Indeed, I say muscles when the muscles need relax while you are reading. Sometimes all force when you know here now so one shot it will result in say all force now will strain it. With time no you can develop visual aura. So when say when you headaches, frontal headaches and temporal headaches we this will start end up painkillers and also may result in something else. Into reading glasses the advisable say because it doesn't suggest a way of helping you to see well. Into the mouse a sign of old age. There's a feeling drew baby or I know and no into me adjusting a home to your free be accommodation. Once so usha we abofra or lens no crystalline lens na share when in the it's very flexible. Into the idea which once a crystalline lens no aye thin na a focus here de na to retina na so say ade be wa na crystalline lens na bulky na focus ade a wo hwe no ato retina na so but wonyini no it loses this flexibility because it becomes hardened. Into with time no it be out 40 no won't say intimi adjusting a home to focus far distance objects and as a near object onto the retina. That's why we give reading glasses. Into me and adjusting a home and focus the near object onto the retina. The glasses or the reading glasses will help you to focus that near object onto the retina. That's the reason why reading glasses are given. And yes, when your disability be an answer, why your temperance, why your temperate with you, what did they and I say, anything related to spirituality. I know that you should always be mindful of that. Meaning, some answer questions.
Once upon na se be a $1 dollar store akotobi. Se bi mpo amingo doctor. Now if you say me here say me be read ya advisable.
Our advice say first line in there, my doctor and susumao call eye specialist or non susumao. Say be a unyahu number no, na say be a in retirement is all call for review. Na ebia glasses nebu. Inti ebia odi kan kususi and the amount plus 150, 1.5. Na yesi 1 year sabra. Ba uba ya 3 months wabofra bi ede akodiagram nebu. Unim number no 1.50 with me akotobi. Until say time no ebeson so obeko review ni asesa no na say ya maintain your amount no. Inti so unim number no doctor trama na de call dollar stock oto e dia uni problem. But say wo na wo ko peki no choose dia akwa try and error dia is not advisable. Pass on to say sir.
But that's a part, doctor.
Okay. Yes, me that's.
You aged for yes, you're doing I want say Yankopa boy and Amir the addition we do Sabri. Dr. Sabri Beja for the man now my summary of the lectures no why.
Mami into me pacho, mami a free fire.
Wapeja
I said,
yo me
one.
pacho Sabra. Me about the nature of your face.
Me need a free fire, mami, because a free pet Australia.
Okay, yeah.
Doctor, Eda say, and somehow with the amai. Now, my question is for who share glasses at na computer and you know. At a point now, me share at any movie as me near Chinona as a also. I don't know, a futusembena, a woho, Emma, me jai, Nishano. Or advice you home. So share etna at anymore afe we are as when you know maybe or a foot to or mamia.
Yeah. Spasm say it happens. Who say at the boni biade, but say a banisa, it means say you've start for quite a long time until you can take a break. Now so person will relieve the spasms then so wait me the cold water. See a very cold compress so the idea tune so pneumonia to when in a cheek. And also to me easy, but it doesn't have any clinical implications. Say be a how when in a baby. Sometimes a sign of tiredness and I say sign of fatigue. And see, that's what I can say. But if it's getting out of hand, I just visit the eye clinic now, my doctor and something. No, in case obey glasses and I say obey pay underlying cause na.
Yeah, but that's it.
All right.
You open it, that was it. Dr. Mpacho, my summary, no why.
Okay, and na kasafa glaucoma na yesi glaucoma hintanifrae eka yeni na essay intini na eboa ema yehunu ade no na ekwan ba kwa ebefa so na ebo yeni ho eban yi eni se yemfa yen regular medical checkup in the agro if you say yehunu glaucoma nentem na yehu se oya at risk itimi see ano kwan se na be ya wade hunu no enko ana se infra weni no infra se yehu nentem de moane di kono de be mo de akoba de aka no ye be hwese ye be bo ho ban but sometimes the management becomes very difficult say yehu nentem ana say it drew a very advanced stage and management is very difficult nti adesre ema nyina say be me na ye ntia ewo eye clinics nya problems via nya how biana we shouldn't resort to any self-medication, any self-treatment. Yonko eye clinic so hontre yen specialist no na omo enhwe emaye. That's the only way. Regular medical checkup, regular eye screening, and not any the only way we can be able to protect ourselves and our families from the debilitating effect of glaucoma. Medamase.
Yo, I get it for Yenina Beda Doctor Sabre. Your best me patch me right now free Australia Caside. So when Yanko died there, patch of Bompire, a shrine to see so my. But just when they said, dear, your best rama a daughter, a shrine.
Amema, my mompae. Inyankopon, enumri yeda wase da wase. Wo amawadia waye amaye. Wafa wakoa so achre. Yeni pedua waso a eye efa yeni. Said ye wusi ye no. Nini yema bimpoa. Wankasa eye adwuma bra yeni nye hwe. Enumri una modom so amaye ntiase se. Ayare ka ho asemi. Eye bonsamyade ebetimi adi ewu nanso ye hu dwuma bi di ankrankre ebusua ene individuals urade ne yesraw ne se mayenhwe nipadua so ye akwaniase nyina mu eduru me bia ye de nsem bi ye ho ano sika sem ne brenti e mayentimi nye good stewards ewo ye nipadua ne ye apomdi no ene de wabie ye ni Ewurade enwumre ye de yenua ma wo ani ha yare nyina ehye wonsa bebre wo honom a yesu frɛw efise ya ntine ma bia se de ne wo de adom yi nanso wo a wo yi anwanwade akwan nyina mu no de ato chema no na mo nwanwa tumi so na touch wo mai sabre wafa wakoa so ambie bi nsem yeni na yenim yi se aye wake up call amaye nyina boye na yentimi ntua na mo se ye be me hia yen na hwehwe ahoden fa yeni anwumre ye de kra ne ni padua ehye wonsa wakoa me srama na nadisua wonimdie mu se ye ne kese woni na busua ne ne ba Ewurade hu ye mobo na nsem ati se eba ya akwan mu a yenyina yenye atiefo ne yentu ho na mo anwumre bra enchane ye bi di titimu akoi ye de kra ne ni padua ehye wonsa homida yi mu hyira ye na intimi ni ho adanse ye manipa hu sampa unyame na waye bra ye di yesu ye bawi ka ye nyina ho ba biara